Just how many back buttons do you really need on your PlayStation 5 controller? Well, it turns out it might be 8. Hello and welcome back to Gears and Tech. We've reviewed controllers on this channel before, and we're no stranger to really great controllers. You've seen us review this B-Savior controller many times, and more recently you've seen us review the Hex Gaming Phantom controller, but that is nothing compared to the controller that we are going to review today, and it's sitting right here inside this little case. And it promises to be the most customizable premium controller that you can get for your PlayStation 5. Now, our journey begins by going to getagripgaming.com, where you will be met with a industry-leading 3D real live custom controller modification tool. Okay, so you can see here, this is a regular PlayStation 5 DualSense controller. And what do we want to modify? Well, for me, I want a unique new experience. You know, we've got new interesting controllers. It's time for something that just is kind of classic feeling and premium. Okay, so I'm going to go with gray. I've really wanted a light gray controller for a while, and I'm thinking we'll do gray for the front. We'll look at the trim here. Now I'm going to make it black, which is different than the stock trim. Stock trim's a little bit kind of gray. I don't want it gray, I want blacks and grays. So we're gonna go with the black, and you can see I've got my gray watch to match the gray controller that we're building today. For the buttons, we can go face buttons. I'm gonna do black for those. Then we can go split D-pad. I don't think that's an option. That's not an option currently. So we're gonna just use the regular D-pad that's on there. Menu buttons, we're gonna go black as well. So we've got kind of this black kind of design here. Home button, obviously, we need to go black. The joysticks, again, black, but I wanna add a little touch of color here. So I'm gonna add a little bit of orange. So we're gonna get some orange just on those trim rings there. Just the trim rings, nice and orange. Just look at that. Look at the way that pops. That should be good. Now we've got bumpers. So we'll do the bumpers black, or should we add some orange? I'm kind of feeling that. Some orange lower bumpers with some black top bumpers there. Back shell. I mean, that should be gray to match the front. So now we can check out kind of what we're doing here. And it's kind of, I'm liking this. I'm really liking this. Now we get to the add-ons, and this is where it truly gets custom. So right now, with just custom shell, custom everything, we're at about $183 US. That's about right for a modding service. We've taken a factory stock PlayStation 5 controller and put custom shells on, custom buttons. There's a cost for materials and a cost for labor for this. $183 US it's actually a pretty good deal so far. But now watch what happens. We have the option to add 2 remappable back buttons. That's fine. Most people are used to 2. Or we can go 4 remappable back buttons. There we go. And there's different colors for those. You can do red, you can do blue, you know, but we're sticking with our gray and black theme. So 4 is about right. But what if we go all the way up to 8 remappable back buttons? So let me see, push that button and whoa, look at that. So now we have a custom fitted button plate on here, which adds 3 per side and 2 more shoulder buttons. So yeah, I mean, we're gonna go with that. Now you can pick, again, different colors for that. You can go red or blue. We're gonna stick with black because I think that kind of matches the controller that I want to build here. I'm feeling really good about this. What else do we want to add? Well, I mean, the price of the controller is starting to get up there a bit, so I want to make sure this controller is going to last. So how do I do that? I'm going to turn on the Hall Effect joysticks. If you haven't heard about them, these are joysticks that do not get drift like the regular controllers that you've had before, including a lot of those premium brands who are still charging you tons of money for a controller that's only going to last about a year before your sticks start to develop drift. These Hall Effect sticks never drift. Tactile face buttons. Well, yeah, let's add some of those. So that'll make the top buttons all clicky. And tactile bumpers, why not? Well, we're here for good measure. And that's it. I mean, I think we've got everything we want on here. So we're looking at about $263, which, you know, we'll talk about the price a little bit more. But now that I'm happy with this, I'm just going to say add to cart. It'll give me a quick overview of everything that we've added to this thing and kind of what those cost. Does it show the cost? No. And there we go, $263. And hit submit. And then about a week later, this arrives. And now here it is. Let's do a quick unboxing. Now it comes just like this in this case like this. This is a custom GGG case, which has their logo on here, and there's not a lot else to look at here. So unzip this and get the first in-person look at the controller that we built on the 3D model. And no surprise, it looks the same. There's the controller. And then up here, there's a custom card with a note. Hey, Anton, we hope you enjoy the sweet custom controller. Much love, Mark, the CEO of Get a Grip Gaming. And I don't know if he writes a letter for everybody, but I got a letter. A business card with a scannable QR code. And then we get a little baggie with some button caps. Now I'll look a little closer at these button caps as we kind of look at the controller, which might as well do that right now. Now, first off, I gotta say, the controller starts off life as a PlayStation 5 regular DualSense controller. So it's gonna feel like a regular DualSense controller when you pick it up, with the addition of these extra back buttons. But let's kind of look through overall the fit and finish. And I have to say, I mean, the shell feels good. This is a shell swap, obviously. So the front and back shell have been swapped for custom shells. We've got the matte black face buttons on here, which look good. We've got the black analog sticks and the black PlayStation button on here with the orange trim rings, which I told you we were gonna get on here. And I'm loving the combo of the orange and black bumpers on here. So I mostly play like first person shooters, Call of Duty, Warzone. So I liked the idea of the orange here to be reminiscent of those of you who are using like airsoft guns and stuff. You have to make your muzzle orange. So I kind of just went with that theme to have just parts of it orange so you know that it's a toy. This is my first time pushing these short throw triggers and they are very short throw. When I compare that to my Phantom, there is a lot. Like, check this out. There's how much the Phantom moves. Not a lot, right? Not a lot. How much this guy moves? Like nothing at all. It is mega clicky, mega tactile, with very little throw, but the right amount of resistance. I gotta say, it feels great. Now the buttons on here are supposed to be made in such a way that you can get one finger on each button. Now for me, my fingers are fat. I would say it's a little bit cramped to get a finger on every button. I would more likely use 4 buttons with a spare button there that I can hit. But these shoulder buttons, I was a little worried about these kind of being in a weird place, but really they're easy to reach and get to, especially the way they kind of stick out like that. So you could easily map these to all kinds of functions. It opens up a whole new world for all of your fingers. So overall, fit and finish, it feels good. And did I mention this is the world's first 8-button modded controller. This is Get a Grip Gaming only that are offering this 8-button back button in a way that even remotely makes sense and can be possible. Now, we talked about this baggie full of caps. These ones are inverse domed or concaved, and then these ones are actually domed. So I have the domed ones on here if you don't want the domed one. So you can pop those off and then pop these guys on to have a recessed kind of inside one. But I find that the buttons are just a little bit too small for that to actually work the way that I think they intended. So I'm gonna stick with the big buttons there. You could also run them without the caps on there. It just makes the button a little bit smaller. But overall, I mean, this is very impressive feeling and the layout is perfect. Now let's talk about the hands-on impressions. Using this on first-person shooters like Call of Duty is a great experience. Having these short throw triggers, these are the shortest throw triggers I've ever seen on any controller that I've reviewed, and I've reviewed pretty much all of them. They're the right amount of resistance and the right amount of throw to just be as competitive as possible. Add to that the clicky face buttons and these back buttons, which are remappable. It just adds a whole new element that you maybe wouldn't even have thought possible. So overall, if you are a first-person shooter player, this is definitely the controller that you want to consider. If you are an experiential game player, what I mean by that is, if you like the Horizon series or the Spider-Man series or any kind of like story-based game where there's a full experience attached to it, where you're going through levels, open world maps, and really getting a full immersive environment, this is probably not the controller for you. It's going to actually dumb down your experience a bit, because I feel that having the adjustable triggers is what makes those experience games really come to life, and this is completely stripped. You have clicky triggers or you don't have clicky triggers. You can get this without the clicky triggers if you really want to, and then you can go ahead. But for me, I know I like having these clicky triggers, especially for those first-person shooter games. You can decide, add it, don't add it. The customizer lets you pick what you want to use anyway. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, and that is certainly the price. I'm not going to beat these guys up over the price, because if I were to do this myself, if I were to buy all of these components, install them myself, what are you buying? You're probably buying extreme rate add-on pieces. These are not extreme rate add-on pieces. These are their own custom add-on pieces. They feel good, and they actually feel as close to factory as you're gonna get. So they don't feel like aftermarket pieces. They feel like actual Sony pieces that have been put onto a controller. But even if you were to go all extreme rate controller pieces, you're gonna spend a lot of that money for the parts. And if you can't build it yourself, you've got to pay someone to build it. Now, if I was building a controller like this, I would charge somebody probably $150 in labor alone. And because of that, this is actually a cheaper price than what you would pay for me to do it. And I have had people message me saying, Anton, can you build me a controller just like you reviewed, just like I just watched you build? I'll pay you. I think people don't understand how much I would charge, because my passion isn't building controllers. My passion is telling you guys about controllers and exploring new technology. And sometimes that means that I need to build a controller to help with that experience to share with you guys. But I don't want to do that. And if you don't want to, and or can't, or just don't have the time, but you've got a little bit of money, this could be the controller for you. Now, speaking specifically about the existence of this controller and kind of taking into factor the price, I want to take something directly from the Get a Grip Gaming website. The guys at Get a Grip Gaming, they said that the biggest problem with controllers is you rely so much on your thumbs for everything. So obviously the thumbsticks for movement, thumbsticks for directional button, thumbsticks for face buttons, and you only had 2 fingers assigned to triggers. But thumbs are where you need for the movement, so you need to free up your hands. And that's why they said, let's assign some buttons to the fingers that aren't doing anything anyway. That was the problem. Now, when they talk about the solution, they say Get a Grip Gaming brings you the most unnecessary yet versatile gaming controller the world didn't know it needed. And that's what this is. This is the most versatile controller that you didn't know you need, and it is completely unnecessary. And those of you who are sitting at home saying, I could buy like 3 new controllers for the price of that thing. Yeah, you could. And you can play claw, and then you don't need all these back buttons. And if you're really good at like hitting these bumpers, you don't need the short throw triggers. You don't need this. But dang it, you're gonna want it. Now let's get a few Q&A type questions out of the way here. Where is the company located? Get a Grip Gaming is based out of Columbus, Ohio. They are an American company. They build these in America and they ship from America. How quickly do they fill orders and what is their order capacity? According to Get a Grip Gaming directly, they have capacity for about 200 controllers a month, but it really depends on how much customization options you pick for the controller that you did. I put in this order and it shipped within 2 days. So that's a very fast turnaround because they've got to have all the parts that I ordered in stock, in supply, in inventory, and then ready to strip a controller and build it into this one. What is Get a Grip Gaming's claim to fame? Their real claim to fame is these 8 back buttons, or the 6 back buttons with the 2 front buttons. It's kind of brand new for this industry, and they had to develop this themselves. They said they spent a lot of time kind of coming up with how exactly this is going to work and how to incorporate it into the PlayStation 5 factory DualSense controller shell. So it's all jammed inside here. It does feel a little bit heavier than a typical DualSense controller, probably because of all of that. Now, many of you are wondering what is inside there. I'm wondering as well. I'm not going to be opening it up because some things are fine to leave up to your imagination. Hall effect joysticks with the centering. How do you fine tune or reprogram your Hall effect joysticks if they get out of center? Well, they actually have a top secret trick, and I'm going to show that to you. So they asked me not to take this controller apart, but I kind of did anyway. And so I want to show you guys something. Right there, you can see those 4 little tabs there. And there is a way, and I don't know exactly how yet because they haven't shown me, but there's a way to connect that up to actually recenter both of your Hall effect joysticks. So if they're just a little bit out of, so I wanted to show you guys that for sure. Now, many of you guys know that I love my adjustable thumbsticks. In fact, when you look at my Hex gaming controller, you can see that I run an offset thumbstick, and that's because I play first-person shooter games. They do not currently offer adjustable height thumbsticks, so you get what you get, and that's it. If you want to run an adjustable thumbstick, you would have to add just those regular thumbstick extensions on here currently. Now, they do say that they're going to offer adjustable height thumbsticks in the future, but currently that's not an option. What is their product warranty? Well, they offer a 14-day return. So if you get it and you don't like it, you can return it for 14 days. You know, there's terms and conditions that apply for that, but they offer a 1-year warranty on the controller. So if there's any problems with the controller, you can arrange to send it back. They will fix, repair, or replace it at their cost and then send you that repaired or replaced controller. That's nice to hear that they're actually supporting the product that they're building. They're standing by that. And the cost, we talked about the cost, but what if you don't need to custom build your own controller? You just want all of those goodies all packed into a ready built controller. Well, the great news is they have a standard controller that they've built with all of the favorite modifications. You can buy it, it's called the Ocho Pro. That's what I'm gonna call it. It might be an Ocho Pro, but I'm gonna call it an Ocho Pro. The Ocho Pro has the 8 remappable buttons. It has Hall effect joysticks. It has the tactile face buttons, and it has the tactile bumpers and triggers. So everything that this controller has, it has that at a reduced price, but it comes only with their Ocho Pro case, which is a special modded case. I mean, it still looks great. It's just not a custom modded case at that point, and it still looks cool, but I love my gray controller and it's definitely worth the price. So again, the controller you didn't know that you needed, but dang it, you're gonna want it. Hey, thanks for watching all the way to the end of this video. We hope you enjoy the content in this video, and we'd love to have you come back. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And for those subscribers who are looking for that extra special thing that you can do to support this channel, consider joining our members group. That's where we're building this community, the Gears and Tech community, where we can all enjoy content together. You'll get special perks, which we'd love for you to check out by clicking the link down below. For those of you who are just happy to watch the video, that's okay too. You can check out some of our other content right over here, where we've got some previous videos that have already been uploaded and enjoyed by many of our viewers already. We do hope to see you again. This has been Gears and Tech. Have a great day.